With just over 2 months remaining in the BC election, the race for MLA in the North Vancouver-Seymour area is still close. This year's candidates are incumbent Liberal Jane Thornwaite, the NDP's Jim Hansen, and independent candidate Jamie Webb. The picturesque region, which is surrounded by the North Shore Mountains and the Burrard Inlet, is a wealthy area that has voted Liberals consistently for the past 4 decades. In order to get a feel for some issues affecting the community, I went out to Capilano University and Lynn Valley Centre in order to talk to some locals.
Oh boy, one word.
Yeah.
Overextended.
Underdog.
Disappointment.
Liars. Fence sitters.
Moderate.
Progressive.
Momentum, I guess.
No decisions.
Something better than everything else.
I need 2 words.
Okay.
Fox disguised as sheep.
Conservative.
Conservative. Lacking.
The most disagreeable bunch.
Greens. Just environment, I guess.
Environmentalism.
They're good.
Homelessness.
Yeah, more emphasis in the cultural side of things in Vancouver.
Definitely would have to say the environment. I think that we need to pay a lot more attention to the resources we have available to us, but also without neglecting the financial responsibility that comes along with utilizing those resources, as well as making sure that we preserve them so that our future generations can also profit from them.
The pipeline. It's got to stop.
It goes hand in hand. The pipelines and the tankers.
I think because it's a much bigger issue than just the pipeline. Not only is the pipeline itself a huge issue because of the First Nations sort of rights, the environmental issues, the amount it's going to cripple our economy, how we're putting all of our sort of our prosperity, like our economic prosperity, we're betting on these pipelines. But I think it gets much bigger because it's BC is at a turning point with like fossil fuel extraction. Like we're gonna either become a carbon corridor, or we can like choose to be have sort of a green, sort of sustainable economy.
The amount of money that they're going to make from exporting oil, etc., is so much more than like the $200 million or whatever that's being spent of taxpayer money on defending against the possible mistakes. The proportion of risk to benefit is far greater in my mind for the people who make up the majority of the tax base than it is for the people who are going to gain most of the profit.
They need to not only come out against Kinder Morgan and Enbridge, but show that, they're committed to a sort of a sustainable green jobs economy for future generations.
I would like them to oppose the Enbridge pipeline.
I would like to see a candidate represent the riding, and more of like in a sense of representing the actual people in the riding, and not kind of developers and corporate interests, but actually more from what is the best for the actual people of the area.
Yeah, basically I just want to see a lot more cooperation amongst the parties, essentially, because they all have some really good ideas, but they're so set on being against each other that they really fail to realize that they can be quite amazing if they actually work together. So cooperation, I think, would be the key.
A more of a representation of popular opinion by any ruling party, right?
Whether the Liberals can maintain their stronghold in the North Vancouver seat Whether the Liberals can maintain their stronghold in the North Vancouver-Seymour area, or whether the NDP can take office for the first time in 40 years remains to be seen. But what we do know is that the party that does take office will have an obligation to meet the demands of a public that is concerned first and foremost with the preservation of its natural environment.